Howdy, folks, and welcome back to The Mandalorian. We're up to episode 4 of season 3. What chapter is this? Chapter 20. Of course, just have to add one to the last one. I can never remember, though. Last episode was an interesting episode. Not my favorite, but the beginning and the ending were some of the best I've ever seen of The Mandalorian, and some of my favorites so far this season, of the series even. The part in the middle, no, I could have done without that. I've been hearing tell that they took some of the scripts that they had written for the series that was going to have Cara Dune in it, that of course they couldn't do anymore, and that they're going to introduce some of that story element, some of those story elements into The Mandalorian. That might have been one of them, where they were going to follow, the infiltration of the Empire and the Doctor's journey and all that stuff. So, I mean, I could see how it ties into The Mandalorian, but I really wish they'd gotten to it a little bit faster. Now we had an hour-long episode, so I guess I can't complain too much, but let's talk about the stuff that's really important, that matters to me at least. I don't know if it matters to you as much, but the whole point with Bo has lost her home. She's been accepted until she wants to leave as part of the Children of the Watch, the group that she had ridiculed and mocked before, or at least looked down upon. I don't know if she's really mocked them so much, but she's got Mandalorians around her, and if she's going to try to claim the throne of Mandalore, which I don't know if that's what she wants. I mean, it's what she wanted before. I don't know if that's what she still wants. I don't know if that's what she'll end up doing, but if she does, she's going to need Mandalorians around her, so this is a way to get some troops, right? If nothing else. Of course, convincing the armorer to go along with her plans might be a little trickier. I wonder if this episode is going to deal mostly with that, or we're going to go do something else. I hope not. I hope we really focus on Din, and maybe Din and Bo, and what's going on. Is she going to reveal that she saw the mythosaur to anybody? I don't think she will right away. She may this season. But if her plans are to go and try to tame it herself, first of all, it's going to be pretty hard. I don't think she has a clue where to start. But if that's her plan, she may not want to give that up to other people, because other people might want to take it from her. Because if she can tame that and ride it, boy, she's got a claim older than the Darksaber, right? So, enough talk. Let's see where this episode takes us. Skipping the recap, because the recap often tells you what's coming up. Oh, it looks like we're still on the covert island. Is this just training? Yeah. I really like that they've got females in the mix here. I mentioned that in the first episode, I think. The covert, as we saw it on Bavaro, is that the name of the planet? Anyway, in the first season, I didn't see any women, so it's nice that there are some here. They're wasting ammo, man. Are you moving those rocks, Grogu, or are they little animals moving towards you? Ah, the little crabs. Got it.
Judge. He challenges.
Why doesn't he wear a helmet?
He is too young to speak the creed, and so too young to wear a helmet.
Don't worry.
Oh, Bo's putting it on him.
The same way.
Highest score wins.
I like how the armor is watching this, too.
Begin! 3 points. Winner!
Did you teach him that?
Haha. Nice.
One doesn't speak unless one knows.
Uh-oh. There is fuel on these things then, huh? I always wondered about that. I wonder if Bo's going to follow in her ship, because she didn't go with them, right? Yep, there she is. I'm glad she went to help. At first I thought she would just sit there and let them deal with it, but back in my mind I was thinking two things. One, she's become an anti-hero/hero through the course of the Clone Wars and Rebels. I don't think she could let a boy just die, right? And two, if she's trying to convince them to follow her, it's also kind of a good political move, right? It was a long walk back, huh? So the armorer has decided she's going to tutor him. That's cool. Or is it? He knows from when Din would talk to her that that's what you do when you're going to talk to the armor. You sit down at the table. Cool.
This is the forge, Din.
I love this. I love it. Oh no. Is he going to have the flashbacks that we saw? Remember when the hammering happened in the season 1? Din had his flashbacks? It sounds like he's about to go into flashbacks. Oh my god, Order 66. Here we go. Yep. I love how he looks so much younger here. Kind of like he did in, well, even younger, I guess, than he did in the first episode. But in the first episode of season 1, he looked younger than he does now. I love how they're aging him up and making him a little bigger, a little bit older. So I'm not as knowledgeable as a lot of Star Wars, you can call them nerds if you want, but the super fans. Kelleran, I think, is a name I've heard that people have been speculating that Kelleran might be somebody who rescued Grogu. Is that what we're going to find out here? I don't remember. Is that the person who's like the librarian or something? I can't remember. I probably just said something totally stupid. All you big Star Wars fans are like, oh, you're such an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't read any of the extended lore or anything like that. I've just seen Clone Wars. I've seen the movies. I've seen Clone Wars. I've seen Rebels. And I've forgotten a lot about Clone Wars. So sorry. So you're gonna go on a speeder bike and put him in the sidecar? I have to check, but are they having all the clones be voiced by I've forgotten his name all of a sudden. The actor who plays Boba Fett. Dang it. He's on the tip of my tongue. I'll remember it. Tamora Morrison, right? Got it. I remember. I wonder if they are. That'd be really cool. It could have been him, or it could be the guy who does them all through the animated. I don't know, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out in the credits. One thing I'll point out about this flashback to Grogu's youth, which differs from Din's flashback to his youth during the same sort of a scene. Din's were literally flashes in the first episode. Then in the third episode, it was a slightly longer scene, but it didn't last even this long. This is giving us a whole segment, a whole, like, I don't know what you call it, but a story, basically. Hopefully it's not as long as the Andor-like scene we got in the last episode, but still kind of cool. There's that rock we saw last episode. Rock. Tip of a mountain, you know what I mean.
It's gonna be a bumpy landing.
Oh, who are his friends? Hang on. That looks like a Naboo spaceship, doesn't it? So there was actually it had to have been arranged quickly, but some sort of an arrangement to help surviving Jedi escape. And they had hoped for more, but all they get is this guy and Grogu, so. And obviously something happens to him at some point. Kelleran, is that his name? Something happens to him at some point. Because he obviously isn't there when Grogu is by himself and a captive later on. Is she making something for him?
It is a tradition.
You did. Cool. It's got the signet on it of him and his daddy. Why don't they think the child is dead now? I mean, if it took it to eat it or to feed its young, wouldn't the kid be dead already? There's speculation out there. Some people are speculating. It seemed kind of crazy to me that the heavy and the armor are a couple. Vizsla and the Vizsla and the armor are a couple because they were together, in Book of Boba Fett, and that this is maybe their son. And I don't think so. That seems kind of. I think they'd be a little more emotional, maybe, if that was the case. I think it's just a foundling. Again, why did they think the kid's still going to be alive? I'm confused by this. I mean, it gives them an opportunity to talk, right? Don't take it off for too long, though, Bo. She's trying to maintain the traditions. She wants I don't think it's because she wants to belong to this group. I think it's because she doesn't want them to reject her. She wants their support. Oh boy, this was that's a big lift, a big load. Come on, Bo. Are they going to lose one of the Mandalorians here? It's ripe for one of them slipping and falling or something. But of course, if one of them does fall, do they use their jetpack to save their life and then alert the bird? There's the kid's helmet. There's a kid there with the helmet?
He's my son.
Oh, he is! The speculation was right. He is his son. Oh my god. It's kind of too late now. I think they have to kill it now, immediately. Oh no. Oh, he's still alive though. Oh no. Creature's got father and son now. Kid doesn't have a jetpack. There goes Vizsla. He's got a jetpack. Now they can shoot it. Oh, they didn't even to the big, one of the big alligators got it. He just earned Vizsla's respect. I mean, he's always distrusted him.
Thank you.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Now, is the rest of that theory that people had right? Is the armor his mother? It looked like that might have been his mother, though. Oh, she's going to tell her.
That you saw what?
Oh, very cool. Directed by Carl Weathers. Cool. Excellent, man. So Bo chose to tell the armorer. The armorer didn't necessarily believe her, which I found interesting, because we were afraid that she would tell somebody and, that maybe she was worried that they would, try to go tame it or something. I don't think we expected that she would tell somebody and they would not believe her. I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't believe her because they believe that it's extinct, right? I love this episode. Not only did we get the Order 66 flashback, which I'm sure, a lot of big time Star Wars fans are just going to love. And it was good. It was good. But all the Din and Bo stuff and a lot of Bo stuff and learning more about Paz Vizsla and, the Heavy and his son, Ragnar. I guess the other part of the theory that the armorer was his mate and that was the armorer was the kid's mother is not true. It looked like as they were walking up the beach, they were greeting another woman. So that might have been the mother of the foundling. Well, he's not a foundling anymore, is he? He's not a foundling at all. If he's Paz Vizsla's son, literal son. Well, he didn't say that. I mean, some people might consider, in fact, Bo referred to Din as Grogu's dad. So is he a foundling that Paz Vizsla took in as his son, or is he his biological son? I don't know. Interesting question. But anyway, cool that we learned more about that. Vizsla's got respect for Din again and Bo. He kind of had a lot of disdain toward Din from Book of Boba Fett when he had the Darksaber, if you recall, and he didn't think he was worthy of it and all of that. And then at the end, when he was welcomed back in, when he had been redeemed, you could tell that Vizsla was not quite still sure about him. He is now. I mean, he saved his son. Bo also saved his son. So I think he has a lot more respect. And she's earned, like I said, if part of her move was to try to get allies and an army, a group to potentially follow her, I think she took a big stride towards that here. And like I said, it could have been a combination. I think it probably was a bit of a combination of she was going to do the right thing because she's a hero now. She's been a hero for a while. And she wanted to do something to secure her position within the group. I think it was a combination of those things. But either way, we had a good outcome, which is awesome. The battle, it was interesting to find out that the jetpacks do have a limited fuel source. I don't know that I've ever known that. I've always wondered. They seem to fly for a long time, and we've never seen them run out. But we saw them run out here because they flew for potentially, kilometers and kilometers, miles and miles, whatever. And apparently there isn't enough fuel for that. It's more of a tactical thing, no more than a mode of transportation across a planet. So that was cool. But yeah, I think he's got an ally in Vizsla. The armor is interesting, though. There's a lot of speculation. I saw one person who was speculating, and this person didn't even think that this is necessarily the truth. And this person admitted it. I say this person because I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. That the armor is actually Sabine's mother, because the voice and the accent sounds very similar. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same actor, but at least this person's speculation was that the actor who we know for the armor, Emily Swallow, has an American accent. She's an American or Canadian, North American, whatever she is. I don't know what she is. But her accent that she's affecting, her English-British sort of accent, is very similar to Sabine's mother. So there was a theory that could be who it is. There's the theory that a lot of people had from the very beginning because of the helmet indicating a following of Maul, that she was a female leader. I can't remember her name. That we never saw her body. She was never accounted for, and people were thinking it's her. It could be. It could be any of those. But either way, she's accepted Grogu. I mean, she's always kind of accepted Grogu. She doesn't seem to have a problem with him, and she's actually taken him a little bit under her wing when his father was away, when Din was away, and taught him some things, and actually brought back some memories. I don't know. Maybe that's something that is that her power? Could she make people think back to their traumatic childhood events? Because it happened with Din as well, but maybe just the hammering is what does that. But the Grogu stuff, the Bo stuff, Bo feeling actually that she could trust her enough to tell her that she saw a mythosaur, a real one, under the waters in the mines. I wonder if the armor will eventually believe her. Maybe if she comes back with the mythosaur, or they go to Mandalore and she tames the mythosaur, then she will. But anyway, I want to look at these renderings here. We always do that at the end. The conceptual drawings. Oh yeah, the little crabs are cool. I love that scene in the beginning. I love how Din didn't recognize that for some reason. He said, "Leave the rocks alone." You should have known they weren't rocks. Yeah, the training. That's cool. That's another cool thing. Grogu's actually gone through a little bit of training. He was hesitant to use his Jedi powers, but Din said, "Do it, use it, show him what you got," and he did, and that was cool. And he was able to win his match. They've got another Mandalorian back there in the center that almost looks like another Din. Interesting. Obviously, it's just a conceptual drawing, but that's cool. The whole training montage was really nice. Fight. More of the fight. Oh yeah, let's see if the voice Tamora Morrison is in here as the clones. There's Emily Swallow. There's the armor. Nope, we didn't get a credit for the voice. Maybe it was somewhere else. Aha! I was just about to shut down, and there it is. Tamora Morrison, Clone Troopers. Ha ha ha! A lot of the Order 66 stuff, I'm sure a lot of people are going to love that we actually know who saved him now. We just don't know much of what happened after that, right? He took off in the ship. He managed to jump away, but what happened next? They originally had him making his escape somewhere near a cruiser or some sort of a destroyer, Star Destroyer or something. I like also how we learned, here with the fire. I like how we learned also from this fire scene how they eat. We knew that when Din had that. Actually, no. We learned that in episode 4, didn't we? Of season 1. When the Sanctuary one, I think was called Sanctuary, where Din was in that village. He had been given food, and he went off into a little hut and took his helmet off to eat. So I guess we've known that for a while. But it was nice that Bo asked, "How do you do that?" I took it as a joke that these were new foundlings. These aren't going to be Mandalorian. I think it's more a food source, wouldn't you think? Maybe, or maybe not a food source. Maybe they're going to raise them to be not pets, but warbirds. Maybe, I don't know, but surely not foundlings. I think that was a joke. All right, so Tamora Morrison, not necessarily the voice, might have been. I didn't see any credit for that. And I don't think they have any credits in the very beginning, do they? So, yeah, we'll never know. But the training scene was cool. All right. This was a really cool episode, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And there were a couple things I wasn't sure of, like who this guy is who saved Grogu. Let me know if you know. If you know any of the details of who this person was and what they did. I don't think it was the librarian person because I think that was a woman. But anyway, let me know what you thought. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.